our collaboration series with our friend Dara from Magenta Otter Travels.
Dara is an American Anglophile who has a wonderful channel about all things British. We are going to be sharing 10 American words and phrases that we would never say, and Dara is going to give her thoughts on them. Period for full stop. Us Brits use period for a woman's menstrual cycle, so it sounds really strange to use it at the end of a sentence. For example, a period is a woman's menstrual cycle. Period. End of.
I didn't realize that's how it seemed to British people, because I actually talked about that in one of my very, very first videos on the channel. And so ever since then, I now notice people, Americans, all the time saying something they feel really strongly about, period. And every time I'm like,
and I must admit, I didn't even understand why Americans did this for a long time, because I didn't understand that it was a full stop. So to me, it just sounded really odd. Ass. Everyone knows in the UK an ass is a donkey and we use ass, but this isn't why I can't say that word. The way I can't say the word is the way Americans say a long ass road or a big ass hill sounds really strange to me, using that ass as kind of to exaggerate whatever they're saying. And the reason I can't say it is because me and my husband were on a walk one day and we were walking by a ditch and my husband referred to it as a big ass hole. Needless to say, I was looking for something slightly different.
you've left me speechless.
Oh, that's a first.
Yeah, truly. I think American Anglophiles, because they watch British TV and they hear arsed a lot, they will use the word arsed because to us, that doesn't sound as rude a word. In fact, I just said this to Ian today. I can't be arsed. Can you shut the garage door, please? I can't be arsed.
Yeah.
This video is part of a series. Head on over to Magenta Otter Travels right now to see Dara's words and phrases from the UK that she would never use.
Fanny pack for bum bag. I'm sorry, but fanny to us Brits means a woman's front bottom or
Yes, when I was a newlywed and my husband and I were going to Britain for the first time, this is actually something he warned me about. Fanny pack is not something I should say because the word fanny did not mean the same thing and it was a rude word. So I said, okay, point taken.
Awesome. I first heard this phrase when I was doing a movie. My line was, I think I saw a coyote or some and in my British brain I was going, I saw a coyote or some They're not similar. How could I confuse those two? Not realizing that this is an expression that Americans use.
Not me, because I am a polite American.
errands to run or chores to do. So we would say, oh, just got some bits to do or some stuff to do, or I'm just popping out.
That's funny. I didn't realize you didn't say errands or chores.
It sounds kind of laborious to our ears. Like if something's a chore, then it's like, oh, it's such a chore, I don't want to do that.
We never say we have bits and bobs or bits and pieces to do. I don't really think Americans would say we would pop out to the store or pop out to the shop.
My next one is coworker. In the UK, we would probably say colleague. Because it's not hyphenated, to us it looks like cow worker. And I actually teach English as a second language here in America. And a lot of my students will look at it and they'll automatically say cow worker.
Cow workers are what we have here in Texas. I think many Britishisms to us in the US, they just sound way too formal and stuffy.
Right.
So
Yes.
we certainly know the word colleague, but that is just a little more upper crust. Like if you were working at McDonald's and the person who worked with you, if you called them a colleague, you would get laughed at.
The next word is howdy. I love howdy, but I just could not imagine myself saying it. Even my husband, who's from Illinois, doesn't say howdy. The one time I really enjoyed hearing it, we were both together, Lucy, was when Lucy was staying over. We went out, it was a windy day, and Lucy hadn't shut the back door properly. So we got an emergency call. The sheriff had come to our property because he thought we had burglars. My husband was so embarrassed and worried that he pushed us both forward and we met the sheriff and he went and hid. And the sheriff was so sweet. And he went, howdy ma'am, howdy ma'am.
Oh, it was so charming.
Oh, it was so charming. He had his uniform and everything.
Yeah.
And then he went, no problem ma'am, I'm the sheriff coming through. Oh, we could have died. It was like a movie.
It was just like a movie.
Yeah.
That is adorable. It kind of sounds like you're crushing on this police officer, I gotta say.
He was a bit of a hottie.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone could get away with saying, howdy, y'all, it should be me, being from Texas. But I don't think most Texans or even people in the southern U.S. use that word. I think it's a bit of a caricature. And especially when I say it, I'm really trying to exaggerate. And I think for a person with a British accent to say howdy would just sound silly.
Trying way too hard to fit in out here.
Yes.
Oh, in a similar vein, and Dara just mentioned it, y'all. Love y'all.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I know a lot of people here say, oh no, you can't say y'all. And they're probably right, because it would just sound like we're trying way, way too hard.
I give you permission to say that.
Oh, I'm going to be yawling all the time now.
I love y'all. Y'all is a really good word. My husband refuses to say y'all. We've been here in Texas, 27 years, and he refuses to say it. But I think it's a great word. I'm a very efficient person. It's much shorter than saying you all, and it sounds less mobster than saying you guys. In part of the Northeast, like around Pennsylvania, they'll say you'ns.
You have to listen out for that now if we ever go to Pennsylvania.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to practice my Ewins, aren't you? Grandfathered in. So the first time I heard this term was quite recently, actually. My boss said about my husband getting discount on some product. Oh, don't worry, we can grandfather him in. How patronising.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, he's not that old. And she then explained, and we would say mates rates, not grandfathered in.
I've never heard the phrase mates rates before, ever. So good to know. So now if someone says that to me, I'll know what they're talking about. Grandfathered in is a term I know. It's just not something you use very often.
Yeah. Is there something that you would say instead?
No, I mean, it means something very specific. It's kind of like contract speak.
My last one is later. I don't know if it's just because it sounds very American or almost because it sounds a bit like blokey, by which I mean usually said by men, maybe?
I think see you later is kind of normal. See you later, that's very normal. I think laters to me is kind of Valley Girl-ish. And then like see you later alligator is what
we
the
say that.
childhood thing you say.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button so that you can follow along with the others in this series.
If you have an opinion on any of our words and phrases, then please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And hit the like button to let us know you enjoyed this.
Bye.
Later!
Later.